victime de violences sexuelles, à un certain moment, elle se retrouve seule. Des fois, elle fuit dans la brousse. Elle a honte de revenir à la famille. Elle a honte de revenir chez elle parce que même son mari la répudie. Et donc, la femme congolaise s'est retrouvée dans un champ de bataille.
Congo is the size of Western Europe and is rich with gold, silver, diamonds, and oil. This wealth has also been a curse. In the 1880s, King Leopold II created the Belgian Congo to be his own personal slave colony, plundering ivory and rubber and killing half the native population. The country gained independence in 1960, but after the assassination of its first Prime Minister, Patrice Lumumba, it was pillaged again during the 30-year dictatorship of Mobutu Sese Seko, who renamed it Zaire. Mobutu was toppled in 1997, but the new Democratic Republic of Congo began to sink into a bloody civil war, and the raping began.
It started in 1999. And then it really started, massive rapes. It was, you know, the bodies of the women became like the playground.
Et avec les deux guerres, la femme a connu des situations horribles. Elle a été victime de violences sexuelles et ces actes ont été beaucoup plus commis par les hommes en armes. Je parle aussi bien de rebelles ougandais, de rebelles burundais, de rebelles rwandais qui opèrent en République démocratique du Congo jusqu'au jour.
But the Rwandan paramilitaries have been the most brutal. In the 1990s, hundreds of thousands of Hutu fled Rwanda across the border to Congo, and tens of thousands never left.
60% of the violence inside the country, it's these Interamwe, these Hutu militias who made the genocide in their country.
The Interahamwe and other militias maintain the chaos necessary to help foreigners loot Congo's resources, especially coltan, a mineral used in all cell phones and laptop computers. The DRC has 80% of the world's reserves. It is estimated that $1 million in coltan is stolen out of the country every day.
Coltan with all the cell phones, you know, we also have gold, uranium. They had to impose this war to steal everything out from Congo. That was the reason. It's an economic war.
A truce was brokered in 2002, but in the East, the war goes on. It has been the deadliest conflict since World War II. In 10 years, over 4 million people have died. And some estimates put the number of raped women and girls at over 200,000.
There is no doubt that rape as a method in this environment to create continued instability or dominance is very prominent. And it is, without question, the worst environment that I have seen.
The United Nations has some 17,000 peacekeepers in the DRC. But in a country so vast, their presence has barely made a dent in the level of violence. I wanted to visit women in the bush, and the only way to travel safely was under UN auspices. So I went on a patrol deep into South Kivu province with the Pakistani battalion. PACBAT, as they are called, is part of the peacekeeping mission in eastern Congo, an area still considered a war zone. Along the road, there was the constant shrill of children calling out. MONUC is the French acronym for the UN force. The 50-mile trip to Bunyakiri took almost 5 hours. I was traveling with Major Iqbal from the Pakistani battalion and Bernard Calumet, who works for the peacekeepers as an interpreter and as a liaison. Even in this rough country, there were moments of unexpected beauty and innocence. Along the way, Major Iqbal would stop at checkpoints to talk with the Congolese soldiers who were there to keep the rebel militia at bay.
Jumbo, how is the situation here?
There is no problem. The lorry, the trucks are passing without any problem.
He assured me that the area was under control.
This road which is going from Bukavu to Bunyakiri and Hambo, it is much safer than before.
What happened next proved how out of control things actually were. I watched as some locals poured off a truck and started down the road to their village. Then I noticed some commotion. Why were the soldiers threatening this man? Bernard explained that they were extorting money from the villagers they were supposed to protect.
And the local population, as you saw, gave the money because there is no other alternative.
Can you comment on what all that, the bribe taking and...
This is an army in its infancy, and this is an army that lacks discipline. This is an army that is very poorly led. If they're not fed and they're not paid, they will take. And rape is part of that, on a daily basis.
So the chore of safeguarding civilians falls to MONUC, and the futility of enforcement was evident.
They had been looted. All their things, all their having. It's now about 4 days since they took some women.
Where? In which village? This village?
Inside now he's a widower because they killed his wife. And the others women, they took the stick branches, the wood. They took wood and they jabbed them into their sexes.
And in the Congo, the UN peacekeepers themselves have been implicated in rape and sexual exploitation. 19 were recently accused of exchanging milk and eggs for sex with girls as young as 10.
But of course it is part of most peacekeeping operations in one form or another. I mean, wherever you have poverty, wherever you have insurrection, wherever you have instability, wherever you have corruption, you're always going to have, I suspect, those who are more vulnerable than others.
In eastern Congo, 2/3 of the women are illiterate, and few have skills beyond the domestic. When they are forced from their villages by violence, there are not many places that they can go to live or learn. In Bukavu, this tile-making class, sponsored by women,